Hello everyone. We have seen the theory with respect to the this apparatus that a new experiment we are going to see. That is nothing but optimum dose of the coagulant. In the theory classes also we have discussed the things with respect to the optimum dose of the coagulant and where it is required. We have discussed also very important parameter in the coagulation and flocculation process. When the process of coagulation and flocculation is there, without calculating the optimum dose, we are not able to perform the process of coagulation and flocculation. And we have seen why there is so much of importance of this process, coagulation and flocculation, and why there is a importance of the test which determines optimum dose of the coagulant that we have also discussed. Because the cost matter or cost will going to affect a lot, because for 1 liter 2 liter, that smaller quantity of the water we are not going to supply for the community. At a larger scale we will going to supply the water for the community in 5,000 50,000 person, means 10 mld 20 mld million liters per day quantity of the water it is necessary to supply to the community or to the people who are living in the different communities and or cities or town. And it is necessary to determine the optimum dose of the coagulant. Remember, optimum dose is not the maximum dose or not the minimum dose. It is nothing but the best amount of the coagulant which you should add in liter. We have already solved example with respect to calculation of the alum required, calculation of the ferrous sulfate required. But out of that, most common coagulant which is used at each and every water treatment plant, that is nothing but the aluminum sulfate, and that is nothing but the alum. And how alum dose is determined by practical alum dose is determined with the help of apparatus, and that apparatus is known as the jar test apparatus. If dose is too higher, then cost will going to increase. If amount of dose we are going to calculate in liters, mg per liter, means if that dose is higher, then higher amount of the coagulant is required, which increases the overall cost. Means your calculations are incorrect. Load on the water treatment plant particularly increases on this process coagulation. Other treatments remains unaffected. Hence there is a lot of importance of determination of this amount of the coagulant dose required, and that amount of the coagulant dose required is carried out conventionally, universally, with the help of this corresponding instrument, and this instrument is known as the jar test apparatus. Let us see actually the working of this instrument, that is nothing but the jar test apparatus. Just a minute. I hope that all of you are able to see clearly the jar test apparatus, and this instrument is known as the jar test apparatus. We have connected with to the electricity, means electrometric method. Electricity is used in this process 100%, and the instrument here you are able to see that various things you are able to see along this instrument. And first, before telling the procedure, I will discuss with you the description of this corresponding apparatus, that is jar test apparatus. Here you are able to see that this is nothing but the jar test apparatus. These are known as the steering paddles or rotating paddles. Here you are able to see that. Means this is nothing but a smaller scale model, and this is model is of what? This model is of a larger scale coagulation and flocculation. The things which you have studied in the class. जसं आपण क्लासमध्ये coagulation आणि flocculation बघितलं, same phenomenon but at a smaller scale. First it is determined in the laboratory and then it is applied at a larger plant or at a larger scale. Here you are able to see that here there is an arrangement of providing 6. Here we are going to place this corresponding 1000 ml jar here, and we will going to have 6 places, and 5 places we will going to add the different concentration of the coagulant, and we will going to observe the flock generated. We will going to observe the flock generated, and the reading which gives the best flock is the best dose of the coagulant, but it increases the cost. Then which is the optimum dose, which generates an excellent property of the flock but which is least, means in the different concentration we will going to add the alum, and we will going to do the phenomenon of the coagulation, and we are going to do the phenomenon of the flocculation. And coagulation phenomenon you are knowing, coagulation is simply mixing and addition of the chemical, and sorry, only addition of the chemical is coagulation, and mixing is known as the flocculation for efficient dispersing spreading of the coagulant which you are added. Let's start with the process. Here also there is a knob to adjust the speed switch of these corresponding rotating paddles, and what is the purpose of the speed switch I will discuss while we will dealing with the corresponding actual demonstration. Let us start the experiment without wasting time. First I will add what are the instruments required. This is jar test apparatus. We require the beakers, then we require this 500 ml cylinder, measuring cylinder. Then coagulant, we will take universal coagulant, that is aluminum sulfate, that I have prepared in our laboratory. First of all, what I am going to do, I am going to add additional turbidity in the water, because rainy season, if we take the sample, and if in rainy season, if you have determined the turbidity, if you have determined the in the particularly in the rainy season, if we have determined the turbidity of the sample is too much higher, and in the rainy season if we have take the sample, we will got the correct sample, we will easily able to observe the flock. Hence, if pure water I will take, I am not able to observe the flock. Hence I am going to add certain amount of the additional turbidity, means a pinch of the, what we can say, a pinch of the soil I have taken, and that I am going to mix here as a part of the turbidity. In equal amount I am adding. For better observation, because otherwise one close black screen is required at the back, and easily able to observe the flock. Okay, now next step is nothing but I've been going to fill this corresponding jar of 1000 ml with the help of our tap water. Now I am going to put this jar into this corresponding jar test apparatus. I am going to adjust the height of the fan or rotating paddles or shaft, you may call it as. The next solution again I am going to put. ml. Again 500 ml. Second sample is ready. Again I am going to adjust the height. Then third sample I am going to prepare. Similarly, third sample I am going to take here. It's quite tight. Sample number 3. Then sample number 4. Last sample number 5. I will replace this because water may spill out of this container. Now I am going to keep the remaining containers of 1000 ml capacity. Again I am going to adjust the height. Okay, we will take the reading with the help of 4 because this switch not. Now next step is nothing but what? Next step is we have to add the alum dosages to these different containers, and alum dose I will going to add in the percentage of 5. First jar I am going to add 5 ml, then second jar I am going to add 10 ml, third jar I am going to add simultaneously 5, 10, 15, and fourth is nothing but the 20 ml. Okay, that in that manner I am going to add the dosages. Just a minute. As these dosages of alum, amount of alum is very small, we required syringes to take. Here on the syringe 1 ml, 2 ml, 3, 4, 5, 10 ml knobs are there, and in this small cylindrical jar I have taken the aluminum sulfate. Now first sample I am going to add 5 ml. First sample I am going to add 5 ml. Then second sample I am going to add 10 ml because this paddle is not working. Third sample I am going to add 15 ml, means this 10 ml, 5, 10, 15, 20, 10 ml plus is 5 ml, 15 ml, and last I am going to add in this jar as 20 ml. First 10 ml, then next 10 ml, 20 ml. Okay, or for your reference, or for our reference, I will write here alum doses. Here 5, here 10, here we have provided 15, and here we have provided 20. Okay, now next step is nothing but we will going to start the mixing. And how the mixing is done, see here, the mixing first is fast mixing, and next is then we will going to do the slow mixing. Fast mixing, why it is required? For clear dispersion, spreading of the coagulant which we have added throughout the solution. And why slow mixing is required? Because formation of floc is necessary. Alum will going to react with the impurities, and floc of that impurity will start settling or will form at a higher intensity when we will reduce the speed. Increase color, what will happen? After increasing the speed of the rotating paddles, that floc will not generate, it get disturbed. Hence turbulent nature is there when speed is higher. But at the start turbulent nature is required. Why? At the start, because we have to disperse the coagulant equally throughout the solution of 1 liter. But afterwards we are going to reduce the speed, and we will going to start phenomenon of flocculation, where floc is formed, film of arrested impurities is formed. And after that, first 100 rpm revolution per minute I am going to set, then 25 minutes I am going to set as 30 to 40 rpm, and then 30 minutes I am going to close the corresponding switch, and I am going to observe the corresponding formation of the floc. Okay, that we will observe. First I will set 100 rpm for faster mixing for the 1 minute. I will start the switch, and I will set the corresponding. Here the speedometer is there, where 0, 10, 20, 30 up to 100 rpm speed is there, and here is nothing but the switch. Here two switches are there, one is on off and one is for the light. At the bottom of this corresponding jar, a light is there, here tube light is there, and through that tube light a focus is a bright focus is from the bottom. Hence you are easily able to observe the floc. Means in this process you are going to find out the optimum dose also, but easily you are able to observe the actual floc, how it is formed in the coagulation tank, that we will able to observe through this corresponding experiment. Now we have added the coagulant alum, and now we will start fast mixing of 100 rpm. I am going to adjust this knob to 100, and for 1 minute I am going to rotate the corresponding paddles. I will set 1 minute in my mobile. I will start the switch. One minute is completed. Rigorous mixing of the coagulant has occurred, and now the coagulant is perfectly distributed towards the solution which we have made with the help of addition of the coagulant. And that water we have added, and that water is nothing but the drinking water I have taken. And at the plant, water treatment plant, the source water is taken. Which amount of the turbidity we have to, which amount of the alum, how much dose of the alum should present. Now we have done the rigorous mixing or fast mixing. Then next is nothing but I will set up slow mixing. Now coagulation is done. Next process is nothing but formation of the flock, where arresting of the impurities has start, and formation of the flock. Flock is nothing but the film of the bacteria that is able to observe. We are able to observe the film of the bacteria. Means slow mixing helps in the formation of flock, and fast mixing helps in the dispersion spreading of the coagulant. Now I am going to set the RPM of 35. Just a minute. We have to set 25 to 35 RPM. I'm going to set the here 30 RPM, and then I will going to set in my mobile 15 minutes time, and now I'm going to start the switch. After 15 minutes I'm going to close the apparatus, and after 15 minutes I'm going to again after 15 minutes I'm going to close the apparatus, and I'm going to observe the flock settlement for 30 minutes, and then I'm going to take the reading. Okay, how to take the reading I will discuss after first 50 minutes slow flocculation, slow speed, and then settlement we will going to observe. Now I am going to start the switch. I have set 30 RPM. Now I am going to move this paddle at a speed of 30 RPM for 15 minutes.